Acids are sour to taste, bases are bitter to taste, and salts are the one which does not contain either H plus and OH minus ion, but contains some other cation and anion, isn't it? And after that, we did a list of few elements where we spoke which has which kind of cation or anion, and we classified them under acids, bases, and salts. Followed by that, we spoke about ionic compounds, right? Ionic compounds are those compounds which are formed by give and take of electrons, and covalent is the one which is formed by sharing of electrons. So when I talk about give and take of electrons, when the give and take takes place, it results in the formation of ions. When it gives electron, it gets a positive charge, accepts gets a negative charge. Positively charged are called as cations, negative charge are called as anions. And because of these ions, a bond is formed which is called as ionic bond. And that is why the compounds are called as ionic compound, where we took the example of sodium chloride. All right, Kaushiki, I think I have tried to answer your question which you've been asking me, that how ionic bond is formed. It is formed by give and take of electrons after they complete their individual octet. Moving ahead, we also spoke about dissociation. Remember the term dissociation? Splitting up, where when the ions or the atoms, elements are dissolved in water, they separate into their individual ions. And we've learned about dissociation. With the help of that, we studied Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. Let us quickly revise the definition of an acid. An acid is a substance which on dissolving in water will give rise to H plus ion as the only cation. H plus ion as the only cation. And we also spoke about few examples, how they split. Did we do this example? HCl dissociates in water to give me H plus and Cl minus. Till here we are done last time, isn't it? Now, as I said, I have to do one more example of sulfuric acid. Now, pay attention on the screen. It is nothing difficult. It's just that one reaction is split up into two. So you have to be careful when I am teaching this. And don't ask me any questions in between. I don't mind answering, but it breaks the link. So I would request everyone first to concentrate, listen to the entire splitting dissociation process, and then ask me any question. All right. So here, now as you can see, the HCl liquid H plus aqueous. And aqueous, like I discussed before, is indicating the state of matter which is dissolved in water. All right. When it is dissolved in water, we say it is aqueous. So similarly, I take sulfuric acid, which is my liquid. I dissolve it in water. It undergoes the process called as dissociation. Now, when this dissociation is taking place here, if you observe, the difference between HCl and H2SO4 is what? Come on, let me go stepwise. HCl and H2SO4 में difference है. HCl में only one hydrogen is present. H2SO4 में two hydrogens are present. Do you all see that? Right? So first, one H plus will come out, and one H, because of two hydrogens here, one H still remains with the sulfate ions, so it becomes HSO4 minus. Did you all get the first step? It's not that it is happening so slowly in the water. It is a quick dissociation, but to understand the reaction, I am showing you stepwise. So the next step would be what? The same HSO4 minus in the presence of water again, which is undergoing dissociation. Now can you think and tell me the product, what is going to be here? Now HSO4 is there. So again, the one H which was attached with the sulfate ions, so it will become H plus and SO4 2 minus. So if you would be thinking that ma'am SO4 के ऊपर 2 क्यों दिया है? Why it is 2 minus? This is because the valency of sulfate ions is 2. That we have studied in the previous chapter. In the table of ions and radicals. All right. I hope you are able to understand this. So if I try to write this entire equation in one step, just asking a question, so just to make sure that you have understood or not, if I try to write this entire equation in one step, what do you think I'm going to write it? How am I going to write it if I'm trying to add both the equations? Have you done simultaneous equations in algebra? Have you done that? How to add two equations? Achha, no problem. Do not worry. I not go much into details. But if I try to add both the equations, you can see H2SO4 splits up into and forms 2H plus and SO4 2 minus to balance the correct equation. Anyways, if you don't understand, it's absolutely fine. In the exam, they're going to ask you the separate equations only. And one more thing, these equations are a little rare to be asked in the exam. What is more important here is the definition. All right. Did you all understand? See, any kind of acid will be given to you to ask you for the dissociation. You should know that when the dissociation is happening, I need to split up the H plus and the corresponding negatively charged ion. Did you all understand the second example? So quickly write this, please. Yes, I will repeat about balancing once again when we'll be doing such equations where balancing is coming into picture. Here there is no balancing, so I will not be able to explain it better. So whichever equations where balancing is there, I'll explain once again. Have you all written this, my dear students? Have you all completed? Okay. So those who have completed, please repeat after me. Then an acid is a substance which on dissolving in water gives rise to H plus ion as the only cation. Yes, wait. The 2 has come because sulfate is having 2 valency. From the table, we know that sulfate ions are those radicals which have valency 2. That is why it is 2. And if you're thinking that in the previous equation, why didn't I write it? Because it is attached with H. And in the second equation, sulfate is present alone. So we write it 2 minus. Have you all finished? Shall we move ahead with the definition of a base now? See, we already have studied in the previous part that acids contain H plus and base contains OH minus. ये सबको पता है. But Arrhenius theory में specification क्या है? What is very important when I talk about acid? So what is very important when I talk about acids? Yes, it is H plus. But along with that, very important thing is when dissolved in water. In the presence of water is an important statement which you need to keep in mind, because when we'll be moving ahead, we'll be taking this statement into consideration. And similarly, just like I said about acids, now we are going to define what are bases. So base is a substance which again on dissolving in water will give rise to OH minus ion as the only anion. OH minus ion as the only anion. Are you all understanding? Just like in acids, I said H plus, bases will be OH minus. Let us take few examples here. Sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is NaOH and calcium hydroxide is CaOH twice. If I try to do dissociation of sodium hydroxide, can you think and tell me what will be the dissociation here? The special in Arrhenius theory is that he was able to make a statement that on dissolving in water also, many compounds show their acidic and basic behavior. Can you think and tell me how sodium hydroxide will be split up? Yes, very good. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH, which is a solid substances, when dissolved in water, undergoes dissociation. Yes, you're correct. Many students have given me the correct answer, which is Na plus and OH minus. Make sure you're writing aqueous in bracket because everything is happening in the presence of water. All these things are happening in the presence of water. Clear, everyone? If you have got this, please try to answer the next question. How will you show me the representation of calcium hydroxide? It's absolutely fine if you don't type and show me. You write in your notebook and then check for yourself whether you're getting the correct answer or not. Let me see how many of you are very much looking into the details while writing the equation. Very good, Aishwarya. Very nice. Very nice. A lot of students are able to give me the correct answer. Very good. What are others doing? Out of 200 students, only few students are being active. What are others doing? Sleeping. Sit properly first, everyone. Have notebook in your hand. This chapter is not that where you can just sleep, switch on the mobile and nicely sleeping, you'll enjoy the lecture. Sorry, this is not going to happen here. If you are taking pains to attend the lecture, might as well sit properly, have notebook in your hand, take your pens, and please write whatever I tell you to do that. I'll repeat the question once again. I asked you to show me the dissociation of calcium hydroxide. Those who have done very good, you can finish writing the definition and the equation. So the answer here is calcium hydroxide, which is CaOH twice. Now looking at the formula, you should be able to tell me what will be the valency of calcium. What will be the valency of calcium? 2. Very good. So when I write it in the product, it is going to be Ca2 plus. It is going to be Ca2 plus and 2OH minus. Now the question here. Do you have any difficulty in understanding that why did I write Ca2 plus? Anybody who has not understood why calcium is 2 plus here? For those who have not understood, calcium is 2 plus because the valency of calcium is 2 and that is why it becomes 2 plus. Similarly, the valency of hydroxide, which is OH, is minus. And the 2 in front of OH. The 2 in front of OH is because in the reactant there are 2 hydroxides. Because in the reactant OH is 2 times, that is why to balance it I have put 2 in front of OH. And the small, which you can see, the alphabet small s at the base of NaOH and CaOH twice, it is indicating the state of matter that it is solid. All right, they are solid. I think at the base of OH in calcium hydroxide, the aqueous has not come. Please make sure you are writing this. Are you all getting this? And if you have understood, please finish writing this. For solids, it is going to be small s. For liquid, it is going to be small l. For gases, it is going to be small g. And for aqueous, it is written as AQ. 2OH minus I have written because in the reactant, if you observe, it is OH twice. According to law of conservation of matter, which we have studied, right? This year only we studied, no, law of conservation of matter. The total number of reactants should always be equal to total number of the products. Yes, Harshit, I'm repeating once again. When I ask you to dissociate any compound, you need to take into consideration its valency. If in case you've not studied the valency chart, that is the ions or radical chart, when I continuously refer to the valency chart, I am talking about the chart which is in the textbook, page number 56. That is a table of ions and radicals. Okay, so I'm referring to that chart. From that we know calcium valency is 2, hydroxide valency is 1. And even if you forget, looking at the formula, you should be able to answer because it is interchanging the valency. Calcium is valency 2, so I have written Ca2 plus, and hydroxide valency is OH minus. Because in the reactant there are 2 hydroxides, in the product to balance it, I put 2 in front of it. Why that question is important, Gatha, I don't understand. AQ means aqueous. AQ means aqueous. And aqueous is that state of matter where solid is dissolved in liquid or it's a mixture of 2 liquids as well. Yes, Daniel, I'm getting all your messages. Instead of L, where there should be L, can you tell me that, Sahil? Where should be L and I have not written? Because sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide are pellets. They are solid substances. Yes, valency of OH is 1. That is why, Sahil, at the base of sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide, we have written S. Did you all understand this definition of acids and bases? Please, there are very fine details which we need to keep it in mind, okay? जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, acid is the one which dissolves in water. Harshit, you're not able to understand, do not panic, do not worry. I'll repeat this once again, but let me finish with the next slide first, all right? So acids are the ones which when dissolved in water, एक ही चीज दिमाग में रखो, acid, H plus after dissolving in water, bases, OH minus after dissolving in water. And even if you don't understand what is the meaning of dissolving in water, looking at the substance you can identify कि उसमें H plus है तो वो acid होगा और OH minus है तो base होगा, right? And salts are the one which definitely contains a cation and anion, but that necessarily should not be H plus and OH minus. Getting my point? Like let me take an example of sodium carbonate. Abhi sodium carbonate mein sodium is a cation, carbonate is an anion, right? But that is one, neither one is H plus nor OH minus, so I will classify under salt. Did you understand the difference between acids, bases and salts? Don't worry, do not get confused. We've just started with the chapter. There's a lot of things ahead which will help to clear your difficulties. Now, as I explained you what are acids, what are bases, and what is Arrhenius theory, let me show you a few examples here. Can you write the names of these following compounds? Anybody who knows what is NH3? Here only, Josh, where you are messaging, that is a correct place. Very good, Soham. Ronald, very nice. NH3. NH3 stands for ammonia. NH3 stands for ammonia. Okay. Next one. Na2O. What does Na2 stands for? Na2O stands for? See, ये तो simple है. हमको for name से ही पता चल रहा है what is Na2O stands for. Very good. It is called as sodium oxide. Similarly, what is CaO? Samuel, here only you have to answer. Here only, Jay, where you are typing the message. Very nice. It is calcium oxide. Now, looking at the following compounds, can you identify which one is acid and which one is base? Can you identify? O hai, H hai, but H plus nahi hai, OH minus, a little confusing. So let us come back to the Arrhenius theory. What does Arrhenius theory said? What did Arrhenius theory said? That acids and base are the substance which on dissolving in water, gives us H plus or OH minus ion, then they'll be classified as acids, right? Correct? H plus after dissolving in water and OH minus after dissolving in water. So let us try to dissolve them in water first. So I'm taking this table here. With the help of this table, we'll try to understand. See, the first one is already solved for you. NH3, which is the ammonia gas, when it is dissolved in water, the NH3 takes one H from the water and forms NH4 plus. Abhi water में दो hydrogen एक oxygen है. In water there are two hydrogen and one oxygen. From the two hydrogen, one hydrogen is taken by NH3, right? तो बन गया वो NH4 plus. And what is remaining then? Only OH minus. Now can you identify what is ammonia? Whether it is an acid or a base? After I dissolved ammonia in water, what did it give me? OH minus ions. Yes, you are correct. It's a base. Did you all understand now? What is the difference? How do we understand whether it is acid or a base? Pritika, here only. Okay. Few students are still telling me that no, ma'am, we did not understand. Do not panic. Okay, don't write anything. I will tell you when you are supposed to write. First, only listen to me. Don't write anything. I'll repeat once again. Do not worry. Like the Arrhenius theory defines, that gives me H plus, and base is the substance which when dissolved in water gives me OH minus. So we are looking at a list of few compounds and trying to identify whether it is acid or base. That happens in the solution itself. After we do the test, we come to know how does it form the H and OH. Okay, so now looking at the second line, now let everybody, you try to help me with this. Okay, second question pe dekho, which is Na2O plus dash. What should come in that dash? Reactant में क्या आएगा? Very simple. Harshit, are you able to answer this? what should come in the first blank? As it is written that mixed with water, तो सोडियम ऑक्साइड को किससे कंबाइन कर 2O which is my liquid. Now they have already in the product side sodium oxide with water. So what will come in the next blank? What do you think should come? I'll repeat once again because I feel few students were telling me that my voice was cracking. I hope now you all can hear me. You all can hear me? Okay. See my dear students, one thing you should keep in mind कि reactant में जो elements present है वो ही products में आएंगे. Only those things will come in the product. So in the reactant I have sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. Did you all get this? In the reactant we have three elements: sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. And sodium ions, we know it's a cation. So I'm writing Na plus. So what is left in the reactant now? Only oxygen and hydrogen. So oxygen and hydrogen will split up in the form of OH minus. Because we are writing the ionic equations. We are not getting the product. It's just a simple mixing with water. इसमें कोई chemical reaction नहीं हो रहा है. There is no some change happening. It's a solution. It will be a solution. So sodium oxide is also a base. Can I conclude this? That it's also a base? Yeah? Now I think my voice should be clear. Everything is perfect. If there is any problem, you should check your internet also, please. For those who have understood the first and second one, and even for those who have not understood, try and attempt the third one now. The third one, try. Calcium oxide dissolved in water. Yes, Nidhi, I'm receiving your messages. Calcium oxide dissolved in water. Can you tell me the products? Can you help me with the products? Very good, Sahil, but just check for your calcium valency. Yes, Daniel, it's a base, correct. But can you tell me the product? Yes, you will repeat the second one. Very good, Mrunal. Yes, Riddhi, very good. Sai, perfect. Daniel, right. Ashna, very good. Sahil, yes, you are also correct. And you also have to write that if you're not able to understand this. I will help you with that. How did we get 2OH minus? That is for balancing, my dear. Because see, we'll get only OH minus. That if you have got till OH minus also, it is correct. But the 2 in front of OH I have written because in the reactant there are 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. To balance them, we have put 2 in front of OH in the product. I hope I have answered your question now. So for calcium dissolved in water, it will give me calcium ions which are Ca2 plus. See all these answers in radicals ka table and the OH minus. And again here in front of OH minus we are writing 2 because in the reactant there are 2 oxygens and 2 hydrogens. And to balance them we are putting 2 in front of OH. And again we conclude that it is again a base. Because all the 3 substances after dissolving in water gave us OH minus ions in the product. So we conclude ammonia, sodium oxide and calcium oxide are bases. Okay, I'll repeat once again that why we are putting 2. At least tell me that, did you all understand how OH minus came? सबको पता चल गया ना OH minus आ गया है product में, right? फिर reactant में check करो कितना oxygen है और कितना hydrogen. In the reactant, when I check, I see that सोडियम ऑक्साइड में एक ऑक्सीजन है और वाटर के पास भी एक ऑक्सीजन है, so 1 plus 1 becomes 2, so that is why 2 oxygen. Similarly H2, and there are 2 hydrogen, so that is why 2. CaO का जो O हैगा था, that comes into the product in OH minus, and that is why that O is written 2OH minus. That doesn't go anywhere, it combines and forms hydroxide only. And that O, to make it 2, we have put 2 in front of OH. Harshit, it's absolutely fine. I'll wait few minutes more after the class gets over and I'll help you with whatever deep questions you have. Okay? We have written Ca2 plus because the valency of calcium is 2. And valency and the numbers, these two things you have to keep it in mind. When I'm writing in the product, see, Ca जो मैंने product में लिखा है for the third equation, did I write 2Ca? Did I write 2Ca? No. Why didn't I write 2Ca? Because 2 calcium नहीं है reactant में. The valency of calcium is 2. So the charge becomes 2 plus. And समझो for example, जैसे first equation. In the first equation, if you observe, we have not written 2 in front of OH. क्यों नहीं लिखा? Because reactant में तो एक ही O और एक ही H है ना. जो दूसरा H था वो तो अमोनिया ने ले लिया. समझ में आ गया? So that is why we are not put 2 here. You have to check the reactants and whether there is a need to balancing or not. And you all are facing this trouble in balancing because you have not studied the concept of balancing yet, because you don't have this to study this year. Next year we are going to do balancing. Here the important thing was to understand why it is called as a base. Are you through with that concept कि इसको हमने base क्यों classify किया है? Yes, Arya, in both the equations we have H2O, but the numbers are not same, no? If you observe in equation number 2 and 3, there was oxygen with sodium also and there was oxygen with calcium also. Thank you, Josh. Isn't it? And that is why we have got in the product 2. All right. So with this, I finally conclude the reactions of Arrhenius theory. No, we don't always take water in the reactant. We are trying to understand here. We are trying to actually confirm that Arrhenius theory says that after dissolving in water, does it give H plus or OH minus? We are trying to prove that. And that is what we have understood from these reactions. So with this, we understand what are acids and bases according to Arrhenius theory. Now we are going to learn classification of acids and bases. Classification of acids and bases. Yes, Josh. No problem. I'll explain that. So classification of acids and bases. The first type which I'm taking here is called as strong acids. Okay. Before we study strong acids, we should first know what are acids. What are acids? According to Arrhenius theory, the ones which when dissolved in water will give me H plus ions, right? This is what we have studied, the definition of acids. So a strong acid will be the one which on dissolving in water dissociates completely and the resulting aqueous solution, मतलब जो मेरा product होगा, will contain mainly H plus ions and the concerned acidic radical. For example, HCl, HBr, HNO3 and H2SO4. Again I am repeating. Dissociates completely का मतलब HCl जो होगा that will completely split up into H plus. Means अगर 100 HCl atoms है मेरे पास तो product में 100 H plus और 100 Cl minus बनेगा. Yes, Nidhi, all your messages are reaching me, but I did not answer before because I was not able to disturb the class. I will tell you when you're supposed to write. First, please understand. On dissolving in water, a strong acid dissociates almost completely and the resulting aqueous solution will contain mainly H plus ions and the concerned acidic radical. See, abhi acidic radical मैंने कुछ specify नहीं किया. Why? Because it can, जैसे HCl के case में it is going to be Cl minus, HBr के case में it is Br minus, HNO3 के केस में it is NO3 minus and H2SO4 के केस में it is going to be SO4 2 minus. So the acidic radicals will change, but acids में constant क्या रहने वाला है? H plus. Acids में constant कौन रहने वाला है? H plus. अगर वो complete dissociate हुआ तो उसको हम बोलेंगे strong acid. What will be called as strong acid? Similarly, what will be weak acid now? अगर इसको मैम strong acid बोलते तो weak acid क्या होता है? Let's see that. Okay, strong acid has come. फिर से बताऊंगी, do not worry. But पहले अभी weak acid पे आ जाओ. अगर strong acid means it dissociates completely, तो what will weak acid do? On dissolving in water, a weak acid does not dissociate completely, and the resulting aqueous solution contains H plus and the concerned acidic radical in small proportion, along with the large proportion of undissociated molecules of the acid. ये इतना easy opposite definition नहीं था. Why? Let me take the example here. The example of weak acid is H2CO3 and CH3COOH. Have you heard about this acid? Acetic acid. Very good. I've already got the answers. Yes, acetic acid. No, you cannot call strong acids as acids and weak acid bases. No, acids are the one which contains only H plus. Which contains only H plus. अगर वो complete split हो गया, जैसे मैंने example दिया था HCl में, अगर 100 atoms है और पूरा 100 atoms split हो गया into H plus and Cl minus, which means it's a complete dissociation, then it is strong. And in the case of weak acids, it does not completely dissociate. कुछ atoms ही dissociate होते हैं, बाकी as it is रहता है. इसलिए उसको हम weak acid बोलते हैं. Yes, weak acid, that is acetic acid, is nothing but your vinegar. Thank you, Arman. I got your answer. It is called as vinegar. So now let us repeat everyone together. Come on, I want everyone to read. You just don't panic. Read everyone. Strong acids. I want everyone to read with me. On dissolving in water, a strong acid dissociates almost completely, and the resulting aqueous solution contains mainly H plus ions and the concerned acidic radical. Similarly, weak acids, on dissolving in water, a weak acid does not dissociate completely, and the resulting aqueous solution will definitely contain H plus and the concerned acidic radical, but in small proportion, along with large proportion of undissociated molecules. Now, one question which is being asked to me is, how do I classify? How will you come to know? That is with the help of the pH. Have you heard about this term before? pH. And we are going to study in detail about this pH after I finish with the classification of acids and bases. So for now, please understand what are strong acids, what are weak acids, and specifically their examples are very important. So now I give you 2 minutes time. Quickly write the definition along with the example. Which second you want me to repeat, Jay? Yes, Pradnya. Dissociate means split up. Very good, Rishi. Good, Samuel. You can revise the definition till then. Okay, you want me to repeat what are weak acids? So weak acids are the one, my dear student, who splits up. Not completely, but few molecules, few atoms will split and the other will remain as it is. Agar H2CO3 has to split, few atoms will form H plus and CO3 2 minus. Rest will be in the form of H2CO3 only. Yes, Sandhya, we don't classify, we identify them with the help of pH. If you're finished writing, you can raise your hand and let me know. No, Kaushiki, there's a difference between dilute and weak. Again, after this, we are going to do with this dilute and concentrated acids. Yes, I will give you the valency table. See, I have not given any valency table in specifically. I have asked you to revise the table from the previous chapter on page number 56. On page number 56, the table of ions and radicals that you have to refer when I talk about valency. Okay, Sivasri Mulund, I think. Okay. Yes, yes, Malakshmi. Yeah, they dissolve in water. They mix with water, form aqueous solution. Yes, Saloni, all your messages are reaching me. Yes, Jay. Have you all done with acid, strong acid and weak acid? I think a lot of students have already raised their hand and they have finished writing. Okay. जिसने भी strong acid finish किया, I'm pretty sure you understood what will be strong base. What will be strong base? Exactly the definition of strong acid only, but the only difference will be in place of H plus, I'm going to write OH minus, and in place of concerned acidic radical, I will write concerned basic radical. So I don't want you to all write that because you can write it after the class as well. So we'll just read what is a strong base and a weak base. Come on, everyone, repeat. So a strong base is what? On dissolving in water, a strong base dissociates almost completely and the resulting aqueous solution contains mainly OH minus ions and the concerned basic radical. सबसे important, dissociates almost completely. And now the important part is the example. The examples of strong bases are sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and sodium oxide. Similarly, a weak base would be the one on dissolving in water. A weak base does not dissociate completely and the resulting aqueous solution contains small proportion of OH minus ions and the concerned basic radical along with large proportion of undissociated molecules of the base. Again, the example, only one example we are going to learn in weak base, which is NH4OH ammonium hydroxide. Sivasri, I'll help you after this class because you are also getting distracted when you are learning this. Okay, then you will get little confused. When I'll end my lecture, I'll answer your question. I hope that's fine. I don't want you to write the definition now. I just want you to copy the examples because definitions are exactly the same, just like strong acid and strong weak base. Weak acid, you can write it later on also. Only write the examples because they are very important. It's okay. This is NH4OH, which is ammonium hydroxide, Kaushik. There's a difference. We will not dissolve them together only. Why will we do that? Until and unless there's a need to do any chemical reaction, we won't do that. So I think my dear students have now understood clearly the concept of acids and bases, strong acids and strong bases. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, so how will you identify them? Do not worry, I don't know, we'll do the help of pH and we'll understand. But have you understood the topic? And for those students who are still getting confused, it is not necessary always at one go you need to understand everything. You read it once, you read it twice, you will definitely get through it. Do not worry. After talking about acids and bases and strong acid and strong base, we need to understand one more term which is relevant to these things, which is called as alkali. And alkali are nothing but a name given to bases only. Usually bases are also alkali, but the alkali word is specifically given to those bases which are highly soluble in water. Which are highly soluble in water, they're called as alkali. For example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and ammonia. Where sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are strong bases, whereas ammonia is a weak base. I've written the word base. You can also write the word alkali. Both are same. Both means the same. There is no difference here. Because in certain places, in certain reference books, instead of writing a base, they might have also used the word alkali. So you need not get confused there. They mean the same. And when I say strong bases means they are highly soluble in water, weak means it will definitely dissolve, but little slowly. So quickly write about the examples of alkali here. And after we have done that, I'm going to take a small test for you all. Yes, you have to write this. Are you scared when I use the word test? No, na. Kya daroge online? Good. And is it that you're not scared because you know the topic? I will be very happy with that. Or if you feel कि अगर कुछ नहीं आया तो log out कर लेने का, that is very wrong. I really appreciate those students who actively participate in the class, who try to answer the question, who asks me so many doubts freely. I really appreciate you people. You never feel that itna question पूछ रहे हैं, teacher answer नहीं करेगी. I might not answer your question is because I might have missed your chat, because the chats come little faster. So we have understood the topic of acids, bases, and alkali. Now the test, it's not a test actually, it's just a simple question pattern which you need to know if you've understood the topic. So we're going to talk about basicity and acidity by completing the following table. This is the table given to us in the textbook, where acids we know that it's the number of H plus obtained from one molecule, and bases is number of OH minus obtained from one molecule. So try to answer this question. When I say the acid HCl, it dissociates and forms H plus and Cl minus. So, okay, I've already got the answer. It contains one H plus, right? Very good. I'll open that, do not worry. Soham is giving me answer to all the questions. Yes, yes, please. If you have your textbook with you, you can do it in the textbook itself. 1H plus. HNO3 में कितना आएगा? 1 again. H2SO4. H2. दिख रहा है 2, right? H2CO3. Very good. Again 2. H3BO3. 3. Very good. H3PO4. 3. Very nice. What about CH3COOH? Very nice. Don't know. Oh, no problem. I really appreciate if you don't know, it's okay, no problem. I'll just help you with the splitting up with acetic acid. Now the problem with acetic acid is because students, we have not started with carbon chemistry yet. Last one you're confusing, I'll help you with that. Just listen to me. This is a chemistry of carbon compounds where we don't deal with interchanging of ions. Their sharing concept takes place. So when acetic acid is formed, it's formed from the combination of acetate ions, which are CH3COO minus. They all terms are together. And the last one, H plus, is given as it is. So now can you tell me? CH3COOH, which is my acetic acid, after it undergoes dissociation in water, it splits up as follows: CH3COO minus and H plus. So now can you tell me how many H plus? Yes, now you're correct. It is going to give me only one H plus ion because a weak acid hai. It will not dissociate completely and only one H plus ion is given in the product. So here it will be only one H plus. Clear? All right. Did you all understand this? So now come on, answer for bases quickly. base NaOH will be what? How much? NaOH में कितना OH है? NaOH में 1. Very good, Mansi. KOH 1. Very good. CaOH twice 2. Okay. BaOH twice again 2. AlOH thrice. If you see, I'm not reading it as AlOH 3. I read it as AlOH thrice, which says 3OH minus. FeOH thrice. Again 3OH minus. NH4OH. NH4OH O1OH minus. Very good. So what are they called as? See now, if I say H plus, abhi H plus means it's about acid, right? So they will be called as monobasic acid. जब 2 होगा तो they'll be called as dibasic acid. Similarly 3 होगा तो they'll be called as tribasic acid. So in the exam there might be objectives where they will ask you, give me an example of tribasic acid. Tribasic acid, जैसे ही word acid आया last में तो समझ जाने का it is about H plus. और किस में 3 H plus होगा? Either H3PO4 or H3BO3. Any example you can take. So base के लिए कौन सा word use होगा? Monoacidic base, diacidic base और triacidic base. All right. So I'm not teaching anything further. With this, I am ending my lecture here. Not for everyone. For those who have doubts, I'm still here. But those who have understood whatever I've taught today can leave the meeting. And those who have doubts can stay back for a few more minutes. For others, bye. Thank you so much. I'll repeat acetic acid once again. See, acetic acid का formula क्या है? CH3COOH. Correct? And when it undergoes dissociation, it will form CH3COO minus and H plus. Yes, they are same, Mahalakshmi. There is 2H plus because already in the question you can see no H2. Why need you have to take that? Bye everyone. No, it can't be a term of monobasic base because अगर तुम basic बोलते हो तो basic radicals are what? Which are positively charged, right? और positive charge किस में आता है? Acid में. So there is no term called as monobasic base. Yeah, I was answering this question. I'm still recording. Thank you.